friends, welcome to Naren's Wisdom Talk. This is Narendra. So today's topic, like previous, I want to conclude here in this particular spiritual videos which I put. I want to emphasize this is my take on spiritual um, relevance on today's world and politics, political movements, social movements, and what is required to reform the humans into a better living being for themselves and for the nature. So, when we look at it this way, today's political and um, other social establishments are there which are very poisonous, polluting in nature, if you want to be very diplomatic. So what spirituality, actual spirituality, can do is it can make you look deep into your soul and think that you are a part of everything you live in. You are not separate, distinct person. You are not selfish oriented person. You are the part of a whole. That is what the message, general message given by all the great teachers and masters, whether it is Buddha, whether it is Agastya, whether it is any other teacher, Jesus, or even Muhammad and Jains, they all emphasized that being you cannot be a perfect human being, but you can strive towards a perfection, strive towards a betterment. For that, we need to look into the contemporary history for last 200 years. So when I discussed last time the thinkers from ranging from thousands of years and their philosophies and differences, divergence and convergence, this time I want to emphasize on the effect what the recent movements from spiritual aspect had. For example, take Neo Vedanta. Neo Vedanta is a movement in Indian subcontinent that started from Rajaram Mohan Roy, and these are the people. Rajaram Mohan Roy. Then it went to Swami Vivekananda and Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan was the president. And what Rajaram Mohan Roy did in 1828 is started Brahmo Samaj, which was a revival of Vedantic Hinduism in India, where he emphasized against the evils of that time, and along with the help of the British, that were the colonial people, colonial masters of that time, he enacted various reforms. So I would like to say that Brahmo Samaj believed in few things, that idol worship, polytheism was not the thing. What was not followed, or where they were against that theory of polygamy, child marriage, sati system, which prevailed, which is the widow of lady widow who was burned. It started in the medieval era, more so in Rajput areas of India. So these practices were and many other what you call as blind belief systems, where he opposed superstitious beliefs, to say. So this he started in 1828, and along with Lord William Bentinck, the Governor General. He abolished this sati system also, and he believed there was one formless monotheistic God. He was also against the Trinitarian nature of church, where Jesus was seen as, along with Unitary Church, which was there at that time. He was profoundly influenced by that also, where he believed in absoluteness of one formless God. There was no Jesus, was not a son or something like that. He was only a prophet or a supernatural being, which the Unitarian Church believed. So these influences had something in Rajaram Mohan Roy, and subsequently Vivekananda emerged there, and he had these initial start of Freemason and other church movements, and he culminated with he joined with Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who had absolute Vedantic thoughts of Brahman, and he told that people's service is a service to God, and this Vivekananda took it to his mission and national empowerment at that time through spiritual awakening of society, which had been downtrodden and other things. There were poor section who were treated very badly. So this spiritual influence was very good. It was, in a sense, a real secular way, in a very so secularism means it's corrupted today. Secularism means it is accommodative of all the thoughts, free flow of thoughts, and religious ideas or spiritual ideas that culminate in a very fruitful uh, way to the civilization, benefit of human being, and upliftment of all sections of society, which great leaders like Vivekananda envisioned. They saw a society which is bereft of all these things. They didn't want an unequal society, and that was the mission of that great people like Rajaram Mohan Roy or Vivekananda, and later Narayana Guru of Kerala, who was in the Vaikom movement in Kerala, where he went for a temple entry for Esava community, if I am getting right. So all the downtrodden. So this fighting, like Gandhi, who was influenced by this Harishchandran drama, the king, where the king Harishchandra is truthful to the core to his belief. He sticks to it at the end, whatever comes, whatever may come, the consequences, but he sticks to his core principle of being truthful. So this later influence, which Gandhi himself wrote in the autobiography, as I told, and which later led to the his peaceful non-resistant movement against the colonial hegemonic colonial rule of Britain, and he thought that all communities should come together and have a greater idea of goodness. He had a mixture of Advaitic thinking with Jainism, part of Jainism, which was which thought that the truth can be perceived in many ways. That is what he proposed, and that idea led to his inclusion, and he called it Anekatantavada, which is Anekantavada is a part in Jainism where he proposed that idea. So he mixed those ideas and gave a compassionate mode to his struggle against the hegemony, which was Britain. which then subsequently led to Martin Luther King's civil rights movement in 1964, which culminated in Civil Rights Act against the disenfranchisement of the on the racial basis and other discriminatory basis, which the government of United States enacted. There was a discrimination in racial and gender in United States. So there was a movement from beginning, but it culminated in Dr. King's fight, and he got inspiration, by the way, from Gandhi. He told, while Christ gave the way, Gandhi worked it out practically. So Gandhi was an inspiration. So it is all connecting. So if a man rises to a level of goodness where he can influence the world in a spiritual way, so politics can be a better place, and politics is what is a service you do to the people, not the profession which you make mint money. Of course, money is needed, but there is an ethics. There is a limit to that greed. This is what spiritualism teaches you. You should be content. You should do your dharma. You should do your righteous duty, and without seeing the fruit of it, and without expecting anything as big gains. So this is a core principle that is there, and this should be uh, incorporated in every sphere of life, whether it is company, whether it is education system, from elementary to the university. You teach moral things. You teach a culmination of all the religions, great philosophies, so that man, people, a child can come out as a product of better human being, a complete human being, like modern gurus like Sadhguru uh, proposes these kind of ideas which are necessary. Whether it is practically possible, you can do it, you can implement it, and seriously avert a very polluted environment which is causing undesirable, unwanted evil and unwanted, what I say, situation where man is a common man is neglected and is cornered in the world, and there is inequality and also a climate action which is not taking place, which will lead to a disaster. And if a human or mankind needs a recipe for disaster, then they can go ahead with what they are doing, which will culminate in a very bad situation. So unless there is a revival in a spiritual thought, which Sri Naren.R Guru or Swami Vivekananda envisioned, there will be mass sufferings, and there will be a depression on individual level, also on a national level and international level. Such a kind of disaster led to uh, huge wars, big wars, which destroyed millions. So this is a warning sign we are getting in. So it's a time to act, whether it is corporate social responsibility where people are treated like resources rather than a human being by corporate giants and corporate setups, or the government which treats its populace as mere vote bank, not as an individual what they need. This will be a disaster, and where the society without moral and spiritual progression will is bound to decay. This is my message, and this is what is the ultimate reality which is going to happen. So that is why great seers from the ages have said that You have to perceive, you have to be content with what you have. Unlimited consumerism and unlimited wants, and governments exploiting these things, and exploiting the natural resources beyond the limit. These are all part and parcel of spiritual dimensions and aspects and teachings to be content. So, as Gandhi said, I quote, the world has much for man's need, but not for his greed. So, from here, I'll end. Until then, I see you in the next topic. It's signing off from Naren.R. Goodbye.